Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero and welcome back to some more Prince of Tennis 2005 Crystal Drive. We're actually in the final round of the trial singles, I guess, area, or no, I think it's just T1, right? Yeah, that's the name of the tournament. It's just the T1 trial singles tournament. This is the final round here. This is a very interesting tournament in that it's one where you pick 3 different singles characters and you try and compete against another team of 3 singles characters who can switch in and out at any point in time, relatively any point in time, barring except right before a serve, or no, during a serve. I think you can do right before a serve because you just can't do it, during a serve while it's in motion. That probably goes the same for everything, or at least I don't know. I haven't really messed around with it all that much. Oof, knocked the racket out of my hands there. I haven't really messed around with it too much. Let's see if this is not a... Okay, I did change the controls correctly. Oh boy, he's gonna go ahead and do his thing here, which is gonna really mess us up. Probably break another racket. Thankfully, racket KOs are off in this mode, so we don't have to worry about that too much. That's something I really haven't had to bitch about in a long time, but racket KO is a, I guess, feature in this game where if you manage to hit your opponent's racket, I guess, hard enough, or with a special type of shot, there's a good chance that you'll knock the racket out of their hand. If something to do with the balance between the power of the shot you use and the opponent's grip, their grip rating, and typically for most matches you start out with 3 rackets. You can set it to I think 4 or 5 also, but typically you start with 3 rackets, and if you were to have no rackets left, you just automatically lose the entirety of the match. So if you're playing against one person and it's a 1 set match, it could be even 5 sets, right? If you, in the first set, the second game, you lose all your rackets, you lose the entire match. So you don't play set 1, you don't play the rest of set 1, you don't play set 2, you don't play set 3, you don't play set 4, you don't play set 5, you just automatically lose. Which has actually happened to me a couple of times, definitely while I was trying to play some earlier tournaments, but it also happened to me, I think, once or twice in an actual recording, just where I actually showed you what happened. But that was like super early on. I haven't really had to worry about that as much. Oh, that sucks. The coach threw off my timing there. I think that's the last time you can use Sanada like that. Sanada is really good in that he just gives you the A gauge immediately, but ooh, what the hell is that? That looked really weird. Yeah, I did show that off a lot in the early parts of the game. I don't really have to deal with that as much. I feel like I'm using probably a combination of better characters and fighting off against more random characters, because I think early on I was finding a lot of like storyline, good characters or whatnot. Like, I don't remember the exact examples I had. Because I know it just happened randomly a couple of times and it was really annoying. Oh, it randomly happened against Aoi. I don't know why the hell it happened against Aoi. But I think I was just using the character that had really low grip, so it was just a really bad coincidence that I just lost my racket all those times. But in any case, so the trial singles, it's very interesting. You can switch characters at any point in time. I don't know how many tournaments of this there are in the game. I don't know how many of them I'll actually do, because I don't really think I get anything from them. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Finding information for this game is rather hard, again, since it's in Japanese. But at the same time, it's not like the most popular game in the world, so it's not like there is a huge fan base or anything like that. I feel like that's the same just in general for Prince of Tennis, right? There's not like a humongous fan base. It's big in that everyone kind of knows it. It's like the the McDonald's of tennis-related anime, but I wouldn't say it's like the biggest anime or series overall, right? But that's why it's kind of hard to find any information on this. However, they have released this game a couple different times, so this used to actually be, maybe it's not exactly the same, but they reused the same sprite and same gameplay and everything, so it's basically the same. It's kind of similar to what they did with the Phoenix Wright series. They released Phoenix Wright first on the Game Boy Advance, and then they did like a cleaner, better looking version on the DS, and then they officially released that to the US. I said DS and US. I wasn't sure if I said one of them twice, but yeah. It's kind of similar to that. They had two versions of this game on the Game Boy Advance. It was kind of like a Pokemon thing where there was two separate versions. And I think there were separate versions per character, or sorry, separate characters per version. But I might be wrong about that. And it was, you know, same gameplay, same everything. The only main difference is that in this one, I think they added taunts and also the, well, it might have just been taunts. It might have been taunts and the awakening gauge, because the gauge they might have had before, I'm not entirely sure. But in any case, they released this on the DS, early in the DS's life cycle, like super early. This is like one of the first DS games that ever came out. Obviously, because they just reused the same models and everything from the previous series, so it wasn't really that hard for them to pump this one out, right? But I don't mean that in a bad light. It actually came out really solid tennis game. I mean, when it comes to tennis, this is probably the only good tennis game I ever played, but that's probably because I haven't played too many of them, which I can hopefully do something about that in the future. Let's see if we can take down Jin here. But as I was trying to say, it is difficult for me to find information on this game because, again, there's not really a huge fan base. So in English, at the very least, there's not really a lot of resources that I can use to find how to unlock characters, you know? Maybe if I knew Japanese, I'd be able to find a little bit better, but regretfully I don't. I'm gonna go and kick the mat to get some A gauge there, or full A gauge and full C gauge. Jeez, he's already gone like super mode twice already. He's about to go a third damn time. Oh, man. I think it's Ryoma that gets rid of the super gauge. Or the A gauge, or the awakening meter. I don't know why it's called awakening, but then they have super on the side of it. Not that you guys can see it, because I got rid of the gauges on the left, but there's like a gauge that shows you how much meter they have for specials and how much meter they have for Jesus. Their awakening, he doesn't even have high power, so I'm guessing just his moves just have a high chance of breaking through rackets. My grip isn't great, actually. There we go. Piece of shit. Yeah, so there aren't really a lot of resources for me to be able to look through and find how to unlock characters in this game. So I'm kind of just, at this point, I've ran out of my previous resource, which was this random forum post that I found where people just collectively were sharing the unlocks that they found. That's sort of as far as I was able to get, or this is as far as I was able to get with, you know, that little bit of information. Let's go super gauge at the end, just to flex. So right now I'm kind of just freeballing. It doesn't help that some of them were like wrong, or at least I got different results. So they're not exactly the same. Like I was supposed to get Kirihara at some point, but I haven't. I don't know what I've done wrong that I don't have him yet, because I was planning on using him in the next tournament, I've written down in my notes. But then after that, because I have it breaking up into seasons, in seasons 5 I just have random tournaments. I don't have the unlocks listed. And then for all the other seasons, there was a season 6 and 7, even a post 5 and 6. In between, sometimes I would do random tournaments if I had to like redo a tournament, or if there was like a special mode I had to redo or something like that. I would just do it quickly. But those are blank. So I'm gonna just end up finishing up season 4 here, and then we'll see what tournaments and what unlocks we can get from there. So I'll do at least one more season of this, and then I think I'll probably finally end this off. I might actually be able to make it to episode 100 of this. I think that's a good goal. Just make it to episode 100. Oh, whoa, awesome. Yeah, it's like, I don't know that we were supposed to get, or actually, no, that's a lie. I think I might have seen this. I might have definitely seen this guy. I don't remember his name, but he's really cool. I think it's Otogi? No, I might be thinking of someone else, but he's really cool. I really like his design, and his some of his specials are pretty good. And we're also going to get Dan as our coach. Okay, not bad. That's pretty cool. Might end up using all of these guys in the next tournament, which we'll take on next time. But as usual, take care of yourself.